Guys of a Certain Age is brought to you by no one. Absolutely no one. Except these dudes walking down memory lane. Now let's head to the studio to see what they misremember next.
It's the podcast that's the Hanna-Barbera of podcasts, highly influential but mostly forgotten. It's Robbie Koblenz, Guys of a Certain Age in studio alongside
Roll. Art Shirley.
And Jay Reed. Most folks forgot that. Think about that. Think how influential Hanna-Barbera was upon our lives.
Oh, yeah.
And just the genre of animation in general.
In fact, I went to the Boomerang app for the first time in forever yesterday, and it's just nothing happens with it anymore. So
because it's all coming back to you.
Yeah.
That was the title. That was the slogan, tagline for Boomerang.
It all comes back to you. That's right.
It all comes back to you.
Yeah, I used to love that channel.
Boomerang was great. We let the kids watch Boomerang all the time.
But, they have their app, and for a long time you subscribe to that, and you'd get all the Hanna-Barbera stuff on there. And there's nothing's the app opens, doesn't say anything about being gone, but none of the menu items show up. I'll try it again today just to see. I never subscribed to it.
Yeah.
Because you can get most of that stuff elsewhere. You used to be able to get it all on HBO, but they took all that off.
Imagine
Max, whatever it is now.
The Max, to the max.
Is that what HBO stands for? Hanna-Barbera off?
Nicely done, Jay.
Well,
steps right in after a week off.
He hasn't identified himself.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. Did you? Are you sure?
NJ Reed.
I don't know who you are.
NJ Reed.
Yeah, he just comes out just NJ Reed. Yeah, kind of like Ann Barney 5 and Don Knotts. My dad's been watching a lot of Pluto. Andy Griffith on Pluto. We go between Andy Griffith and Beverly Hillbillies, and occasionally I Love Lucy.
Wow.
Pluto's the gift that keeps on giving.
I'm Mission Impossible, Wild Wild West, and Gunsmoke.
I had a roommate in college that was a big Andy Griffith fan, and we watched it twice a day.
Yeah.
In the afternoons.
What do you watch on Pluto?
On Pluto, nada.
Yeah. See, they've got a classic Doctor Who channel.
Yeah.
And
they've got some Star Trek stuff.
And is today the day Paramount Plus has got Battlestar Galactica starting today.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one? The reboot?
Yeah, the really the only one. The only true, serious Galactica.
I love the first one.
Oh, Glenn Larson. Yeah. So
I need to start
back to bringing up the Paramount out to see what's going on. It's coming. Anyway, all right, let's jump into some Geeks of the Week while we're here all together for second week in a row, right?
Yeah.
It's really bizarre.
Third, I guess, yeah.
Third, fourth, fifth.
It's hard to keep up.
Wait a minute, you weren't here last week.
That's true. You're right.
Yeah. So
I didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
Yeah.
All right, so who wants to go first?
I'll go first just for,
Continuity.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Continuity. Gerry Conway passed away, comic book writer and editor. The name may not be familiar, but the characters and what he's done is certainly going to be. He was a co-creator for Marvel of The Punisher.
Oh, yeah.
Also The Villain, the Jackal, and the first Miss Marvel. But the big thing he did for Marvel, I think, is he wrote the death of the character Gwen Stacy. He was writing the Spider-Man books.
He killed Gwen.
He killed Gwen Stacy. Yeah.
Way to go, Jerry.
And for a long time, she was the one character that would never come back, but now she's back.
She's been back how many times?
I don't know, but she's like Spider-Gwen now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's an alternate universe.
That's right, yeah. But I mean, still, isn't everything an alternate universe?
It's hard to keep up with what universe.
It's really,
I think we're in an alternate universe.
For
right now.
DC Comics, he co-created Firestorm, Power Girl.
I love Firestorm.
Yeah, and Jason Todd. So
big names.
Really? Pretty big names.
And then
How come all the characters he created died?
I don't know. That's a good point. Power Girl's still around.
Yeah. Well, so was Firestorm, right?
Yeah,
but
I think so. Yeah. But another thing he did, and again, writing wise, is he wrote the first intercompany crossover, modern day intercompany crossover, Superman versus the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which I've still got the Treasury edition. I guess it's the only edition that came out of it. That's just celebrating an anniversary too. or did not too long ago, maybe 50 years, 60 years, maybe.
Wow, sure.
Yeah, no, 50. It got to be 50 years.
Because I remember when it came out, and I'm not 60 yet, unlike you guys.
But I wasn't 3.
Not quite 60.
You're a lot closer than I am, buddy.
True, that's true.
Yeah. I don't remember reading it at 3 or 4. So,
we should see if Insure would sponsor.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah,
good deal.
So
anyway, he had.
It depends on whether or not they.
Oh gosh,
fix that dent, buddy.
Anyway. Sorry to hear about Gerry Conway's passing. He was 73 years old. He had pancreatic cancer.
That's a rough one.
Yeah, he actually had it earlier, and I'd never heard of this. Went into remission with it, and so it had come back.
That's rare.
Yeah, that's very rare.
Anyway, on a brighter note,
sorry,
what you got,
Mr. Doom and Gloom?
So this was I came across. I was looking on GeekTyrant.com, and this was a headline, so I assumed it was current.
Yeah.
When I read the article, I realized it was not, but it was current for me.
Oh, gosh.
It's current for me.
Did you dream about this?
You guys will know about it, I'm sure, but I'm also sure there are others like me who listen who will be today old when they learn it. Okay, so I've always
the anticipation is just killing me.
Isn't it? Yeah. That's all. Mm-hmm. just building the anticipation.
Apparently, Marvel is planning a movie series starting with Iron Man.
And they're going to call it the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. This is actually a DC story.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. So
Zack
Snyderverse.
And this James Gunn guy is,
Well, Gunn is involved in the story. I've always been one who wondered when it came to Superman, putting on a pair of glasses and combing your hair differently and acting clumsy. How do they not know that it's not the same guy? I've always wondered that, but you just kind of accept that as part of the story, right? Well, apparently his glasses are some sort of
hypnosis.
Hypno glasses.
Okay,
I knew you would know, and I'm admitting that, but I never knew that.
Yeah,
but I guess in the Superman movie, there's some reference to it, which I completely missed.
Yeah.
So they're basically just hypnotizing everybody into thinking he's not Superman. Which makes a lot more sense.
What they're trying to do is retcon a little bit. How could Lex Luthor make a clone of Superman and not realize he looks just like Clark Kent?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right. I think it took place with Nathan Fillion's Green Lantern character, whatever. They were talking about.
He was involved in it too. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, you go back and watch that and find that thing. So,
which is weird because we've talked about this. As much as I enjoyed that movie when it came out, I still have not rewatched it yet. Yeah. I did rewatch Fantastic Four, but I need to go back and rewatch that too. There's a meme. I don't know if you've seen this or not, but it's pictures of Zooey Deschanel. And one, she's dressed as her character from New Girl with the glasses and the bangs, and the other one, she's like going to an Emmy thing. She goes, seeing these pictures, all of a sudden the Clark Kent Superman thing makes perfect sense because she doesn't look like the same person.
Okay,
yeah. So, but no, Jay, why don't you take your glasses off for us now?
Okay. Yep. It's a shame we're not on YouTube. Yep.
Oh my gosh,
who are you? I don't know.
It's
who
amazing.
You are. I'm Superman.
No,
he said in Batman's voice.
Yeah. Do y'all know? I think we've talked about him before. There's an artist, Gerry Conway. He works for Mad Magazine. He does. I think we've shown some of the. Off mic, we've shared some of his work. He does a lot of stuff in the classic, Golden Age style, and draws parody kind of cartoons. And one of them is Superman in a grocery store, and a baby puts on a pair of glasses, and they're going, my baby's gone. Nobody can find him. And all of a sudden he takes his glasses. Oh, here he is. So anyway, I guess you had to be there.
Yeah. No, I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I knew y'all would be perfectly
and I think that's in the comic books or whatever, but I think it, like Robbie was saying, it's one of those things that says, okay, we're trying to make this make sense now.
Yeah. And I'm not nearly as well read as y'all are in that. So,
well, I don't remember ever reading the comics.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't either.
The movie is the first time I ever heard the story, and I didn't know if they were just messing with Green Lantern.
Retcon, probably.
Yeah, retcon.
Okay, cool.
So,
Retcon.
So
that needs to be our movie. Retcon. Guys of a certain age.
Okay, so
in a world.
If we only knew somebody that made videos.
Yeah. I don't know anybody. I know nothing. what was it? It was
Hogan's Heroes.
Your dad watching that too?
Sergeant Schultz would say that.
Sergeant Schultz too. Yeah. Colonel Klink. I know nothing.
Yeah.
We watched that a lot. When
I liked Hogan's Heroes quite a bit.
I did too. You know, it's amazing that 20 years after, y'all all seen what's the show about the making of Godfather?
I can't remember, but that's where I learned. The offer. Yeah.
And
I had no idea.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
You had no idea about what?
That the Godfather dude did Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah. He pitched that television show.
That's
show.
right. Yeah. So, speaking of remakes, it looks like the Blair Witch Project is coming back around again.
You got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding you. Would I kid you? Not on a podcast of a serious nature like this, like guys of a certain age. So
hard-hitting journalism that it is.
Yeah. So back in 2024, the original cast of Blair Witch basically begged the studio. Who had it? Who's got it?
Fox?
Lionsgate.
Okay.
Saying, hey, we've never gotten any residuals from Blair Witch.
Wow.
Ever. And, they were not members of SAG or AFTRA.
Yeah.
And it was all independent. And they were asking Lionsgate, just give us what you would give if we'd been members of SAG. Guild minimum. Nothing happened. So, but they also put in their little statement on Facebook, that demeans it. I don't mean to, but they put a statement out, the three original cast members, quote, and any meaningful consultation on any future Blair Witch reboot, sequel, prequel, toy, game, ride, escape room, etc. Well, flash forward to today, and Lionsgate is going to make a new reimagining of the Blair Witch Project.
The
Blair Witch. Why would
that could have gone a lot worse?
It really could have.
Blair Witch.
Yeah, project.
It's a new Where's Waldo book.
Yeah, that's right. So Dylan Clark is attached to direct, and apparently Portrait of God is his new movie coming out based on a short film. He's got a horror pedigree, I guess.
Okay.
And he's rewriting the original screenplay. Blumhouse is getting involved. But what's really interesting is that Eduardo Sanchez and Daniel Myrick, who were the original directors, are on as executive producers. So they're going to get their little slice of the pie. So,
but what about the girl?
Don't know about the girl.
Okay.
So, but anyway, I forgot that there was a 2016 reboot.
Yeah.
Called Blair Witch.
I never saw that.
Yeah, I never saw that one either. So, anyway, it's the project that won't die, and they've never been able to recapture.
No, they never have.
I was explaining to some of the folks who work at Dolce who are much, they're like, actually now they're younger than our kids.
Okay, go ahead.
About the viral marketing and how they had the posters on college campuses, because I remember this when it came out, saying, have you seen these kids? And there was no social media, and it was just it really built up the expectation for it. So
but I was just gonna say, we have to commit this to podcast record. Robbie and I were in Dolce last week.
Hello, Dad.
And one of his, I guess, who did you say it was?
It's manager of Dolce, Zoe Wilter. Yeah. She thought that Art was my dad.
Is this your dad? Yes.
So this is like, I was texting with your wife with just a couple things as I pointed at Jay. I said, Jay is my son's TV father, so Art is now your podcast father-in-law. You know? Yeah, it's
very common. We need a family tree thing.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, see, and when you first sent that, I misread it, and I thought they somehow or another had Art as Mark's father.
Yeah, no, as my dad.
Yeah, it makes more sense now.
It's pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it was to me.
Poor Art.
That's what happens when you're tired.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Just take your glasses off.
He was in flip flops.
I told Becky, I said, I definitely had old retired guy vibe going on. I had the metal clipped reading glasses that I'm wearing right now. A beat up old fishing shirt kind of thing.
You really kind of did.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I kind of leaned into it as I am today.
Then we ended up having coffee out front, and it just ended up a whole parade of people came through to, to say hello from different stages of my life.
Yeah, it was really something.
My realities were clashing, were merging.
It was like, there's a convergence point right there of realities. Yeah.
What is it that Doctor Who says in those the way it should have been at animated things? Fixed point in time. Sorry, can't do anything about it. You remember that? You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Where the Doctor and Superman and Batman are having coffee in a diner, and
how it should have ended. Right?
Yeah,
You said,
So fixed point.
Do you ever watch that YouTube series? You need to watch
you need to go back.
Yeah.
Basically, it animates how things should have ended, and just kind of it's pretty funny.
It's usually Superman and Batman talking in a booth. Well, I guess that's just one of the gimmicks they have, one of the setups they have.
I haven't seen any of those in a long time.
I haven't either. But maybe my algorithm has changed.
I don't think they're doing them anymore. So
the shimmy.
It was fun. So how it should have been it. So all right. Anything else we're going to talk about on this segment? So we don't think we've talked Pluribus. And if we have, we're going to talk it again.
We're a fixed point in time that we'll keep going back into.
That's right.
Pluribus.
Up next. And we're back, and we think we haven't really talked about Pluribus, or if we have, we're just going to revisit it because Jay has finally watched.
We've talked about it. We just haven't focused an episode on it.
Okay.
And now that time has come.
That time has come.
Jay's gone back through the archives and notes that he's kept.
Yeah, I checked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
those of you going, he talked about this 3 months ago.
Well, we probably did, but we're gonna do it again. So, what did you guys think about Pluribus?
Go for it, Art.
I really liked it a lot. Deafening.
Yeah. I'll stand by my original opinion. I really liked it a lot. Yeah.
So
I don't know if looking back now at, from this viewpoint of time is that I think I still like Severance better, but it's very close.
By the way, how it should have ended is still producing things.
Okay, good.
Yeah. They did Zootopia 2 and how Stranger Things should have ended. This looks pretty good. How Fantastic Four should have ended. Boy, our algorithm has just been,
I'm telling you,
out of kilter. How
mine's all retirement planning. It really is.
Wow. All right. So you like Severance better?
I did but I mean, just like I said, really is a solid show. I thought it was a very solid show.
So as a background, Vince Gilligan produced, directed, show ran the whole. Well, did he direct? He may have directed the pilot, but he's the showrunner for it, creative behind it. Vince Gilligan, obviously Breaking Bad. And
Better Call Saul.
Saul Goodman. And I forget Vince Gilligan wrote for X-Files.
Yes, that's right.
And did he write for Mad Men? He may have written for Mad Men.
May have.
No. The guy who created Mad Men wrote for Sopranos. Anyway, so takes place in Albuquerque. Imagine that, because Vince Gilligan loves the American Southwest. Mm-hmm. So, but you liked it, Jay?
Pros and cons. Took me several episodes to get into it.
Okay.
And honestly,
is that a pro or a con?
That's a con.
Con!
I mean, you had such enthusiasm about it. They won awards, or at least were nominated for a lot. So I had high expectations, and they didn't meet them.
Oh, so that led you on, is what you're saying.
Built it up too much.
I
would say it was extremely built up. And, that's fine. I liked the fact, a pro is that it was, it started out as just another zombie series.
Yes.
And then as that sort of developed, I was like, okay, well, this is the kind of zombie I can deal with. Mm-hmm. It was a completely different idea in that genre. But even I watched like a little 1 minute behind the scenes thing when Gilligan and Skipper were on there talking about how they came up with it. And he mentioned it's like zombie, but not zombie.
Yeah. Was Thurston Howell in there too?
He was executive producer.
He was executive producer. Yeah, there you go. He's the money man.
Love it. Get less sleep more often. No, but I mean, it was.
You think you're actually podcasting? You're still asleep.
Right? Is it a dream or is it a nightmare he's having?
But it was, because I watched probably in the last 24 to 36 hours, I've watched, 4 or 5 hours. I watched 4 episodes over the last 2 days. And at the end, spoilers, by the way, from this thing that ended in December, it was like the whole season was like a setup for another season almost.
I did get that.
That's almost like, television.
But you do want some kind
But
of
I want some kind of closure.
finality to it.
And I guess there was some closure in her relationship with Zoja Grass. Whatever. Zozia? Is it?
Yeah, whatever.
Okay. So
I've forgotten all the characters.
yeah, so Zozia and Manusos.
Names anyway. Yeah.
Manusos. I mean,
Kusunai.
I don't think I knew any of the actors in this, or if I may have been forgetting.
Well,
a big
Rhea,
name,
who's the
She was the-
she was in Better Call Saul.
which I didn't watch.
But if you didn't watch that, you wouldn't.
yeah,
probably
I didn't
know.
watch that, and I thought she was good. I don't know. I had a hard time getting into it. I don't regret watching it. Season 2, and I'm curious, what happens. But if I'm assuming there's a season 2 coming, since
Yeah, I believe there's a season 2 and a season 3 greenlit.
right. So I mean, it was good, but I didn't think it was all that.
Wow.
And that's the whole reason you wanted to talk about it today. Hey, let's talk about Pluribus. I've got some grievances to air.
It's not Festivus, buddy. It's
No,
not
I mean, there was
Festivus.
some-
It was when it came.
Yeah.
Now, I literally jumped out of my chair last night almost when Manusos was going through the Darien, I think. And
Yes.
actually, I just heard a podcast. I'm pretty sure that's the area between like Panama and whatever the next
is.
country is,
Yes.
that you're not supposed to go down.
Right.
Like the podcast that I was listening to, they have an overland vehicle, and they were going down the Pan American Highway. They got to Panama,
And you can't.
and you can go through it, but
can?
it's dangerous.
Okay.
Super dangerous.
We were looking
In
at
what way?
just all the stuff. that got
Cartel,
ran into.
traffic, and just dark. And I mean, I don't know if where it was filmed was anywhere close, or it looks anywhere close to it.
Yeah.
But it's just not a safe place to be.
Yeah.
So they were shipping their overland vehicle by boat,
going around.
and then they would take a boat or a flight over and then catch it on the other side. But anyway, I recognized that because of that podcast, and I was like, okay, well, I understand that part. But when he stumbled and fell back into that
was,
spiny
brutal.
tree,
Uh-huh.
I jumped.
Yeah.
So there were some interesting aspects to it.
What is that area called?
I think it was called the Darien on the show.
Darien National Park.
Yeah, that's what they were making a comment
it sound
about
a
that.
little
It was they call it the national park, but
Yeah.
nobody goes there.
Yeah.
Even the locals don't.
Yeah,
go.
we were looking it up as we were watching and go, okay, what is this a real thing? And it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
very much
yeah.
so.
It does look pretty brutal.
But I mean, I like the Albuquerque setting. I don't get out there too much.
I got a little frustrated with him though, in that he would never, never accept any help. And you're thinking, okay,
Yeah.
finally he
had
passed
to.
out and he had to. But I'm thinking, come on, man. I mean, what does that hurt to accept?
Yeah, it feels
Well,
like.
then he would be
I know.
betraying his personal code.
I know.
Yeah.
But,
But you almost feel like there's a backstory there that we didn't get told. Like, did something happen to him to make him distrust, or was it just the overall,
Yeah.
big thing that happened? But yeah, I mean, it was.
a lot of really good characters in there. I mean, I love the people that are in the same boat, actually plane, I guess, because they go and meet in the plane,
Yeah.
and then their reactions to things. And when she does something and kills like 1 million people,
Yeah.
they're
And what's the guy's name that she talked to the most? Diamante, or is that the actor's name? Or the
I'm
guy
not
that
sure.
was in Vegas?
Yeah, I know which
and
one you're talking
brought
about.
the plane and all that. I loved his character. I didn't condone some
Yes.
of the behavior, but the character
You
was
just
like,
wish you could
Yeah.
be him.
well, I liked him because he was like, we're in this situation.
why not?
I can't do anything about it. So why not enjoy it?
Yeah.
Just let
he
me
definitely
make the
did.
most of it. And definitely did.
Yeah.
And this whole, you can pretty much get what you want. And, the whole drone picking up the mail and the drone, when the drone tried to pick up the trash, it wrapped itself around the light bulb.
Yeah.
Hello, Carol. So
Yeah. And then when they just shut her out.
Yeah. I got a little tired of the voicemail thing.
Oh yeah.
She got tired of hearing it, and so did I.
And I think that was, on purpose.
Probably,
So
yeah,
we would
yeah.
be just as worn out by it as everybody. Because you go, come on, you could at least come up with a different voicemail every once in a while. But yeah.
So one of the voicemails was one of her co-stars from Better Call Saul.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I forget what's his name, but he was one of the partners at Jimmy's brother's firm.
Yeah. Okay.
And they did not know she did not know they got him to record the voicemail.
Oh, that's cool.
And so when she picked it up, she was like really surprised and kind of shocked. And you can, if you know that, you can see
it in there
on that take. Okay. But it was pretty cool. So, but would you rewatch it?
I don't rewatch. Honestly, I don't rewatch things I really like because there's so much else to watch. I'm kind of the same way with books.
I used to a lot.
I might reread them one day, but it's more likely I'm going to read something else.
Yeah, I used to rewatch movies, and I just don't anymore because there's so much that's coming out.
Yeah,
and stuff that I just have not seen. Even like old stuff we've talked about that I still need to catch up on.
I can't remember who I talked to. Who's watched Shrinking?
I tried to watch a couple episodes and didn't get into it.
I've watched the first season and I'm probably 3 eps into the second season.
I'm almost through the third season and I like it quite a bit. It's
the people that, I know people that just love it.
Yeah. I don't know that I love it. I want to finish it. I think Harrison Ford is fabulous.
Yeah. I really enjoy it. We just have been watching it.
Well, it was kind of pitched as the next Ted Lasso. Mm-hmm. And to me, it just wasn't the next Ted Lasso. So
speaking of
the next Ted Lasso,
that may be my geek of the next show.
Okay,
so
geek of the next show.
Yeah, geek of the next show. So,
but Pluribus, like I said, I do agree with you on the ending. It's like, and I think that there should be something where if you don't like, I think they did a good job of it with Hulu's Paradise. Which did you ever see that? Did you watch that? Did we talk about that?
Y'all talked about it. Actually, I was here for that.
That's right. We talked.
I haven't finished season 2.
Season 1, though, they left it, and he's going off to find his wife, but enough had happened to give you a sense of this chapter is closed before you. So that it's almost like a book that ends, and you've got but you see how they're setting up the next book, but you don't necessarily have to see the next book. You could leave that open ended.
It's like there's a climax, and then
denouement.
Then a leap.
Denouement. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay,
denouement. You know the term, right?
I know how
it's
to spell
French for
the
decline.
end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But I did think it was a creative idea. I mean, the shows itself. Does anybody know why it's called Pluribus? What's the meaning of the title?
From one many.
Yeah. I think did they say anything about it? I'm trying to remember if they did.
No,
I don't think
but
so.
E unum pluribus, which is the motto.
Pluribus unum?
Yeah, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Well, it's
E pluribus unum, right? From many one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that makes perfect sense then. I didn't Google the word. I didn't look in the dictionary. I just thought I'm missing something here, but that makes perfect sense.
Yeah. But I think it was like I said, you mentioned this before, kind of a unique twist on. I mean, it felt like when we talked about this thing before. Again, possibly off mic. It seemed to pull from several different things, and he created something I think unique by doing that.
Yeah, and it
felt like Soylent Green. Sometimes it felt like other.
It's people. Yeah,
right. So that's what I was going to say. It was a zombie movie in the fact that everyone was kind of under a spell of sorts. But
you didn't have the grossness.
Exactly. The limbs aren't falling off. They're not eating people until they are. And
I mean, the closest you came is getting rid of the people who died, because of things failing. And
right.
They cleaned all that up, So
yeah, and then you've got the
whole thing. I mean, you've got the Soylent Green thing in there.
Yeah, yeah. And the last literally few minutes of the thing where she realizes, I've built this relationship with Zoja and it feels better and I'm loving life. And then she reveals, you're going to love it even more when
you join us.
And then all of a sudden it's like,
she realizes what happened.
We changed things here.
Yeah,
the dynamic has changed.
They were still,
They were able to find a biological sample from her I think she froze eggs. And so they're able to engineer the formula to
and the way that they brought out the frozen eggs was kind of cool too. When Manousos was looking for bugs in her living room and couldn't find any until he found some weird, it looked like an iPod Nano that he pulled from the liquor cabinet.
Oh yeah.
And her partner had put that in there because this was during the time that they were freezing the eggs, and she wanted to know how many times she was going to the liquor cabinet. So it was just like a counter, to see if she was ruining the process.
Yeah.
And then you hear, okay, yeah, that's where the stem cells came from. But she expressly said, I do not give my consent, but yet they're still doing it. Even though they didn't give her the injection or they didn't,
Not yet.
Yeah.
Will you watch it again? Have you watched it again?
No, I've not watched it again. I might skim back over it before season 2.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it, but I'm trying to get through
1,000 other things to watch.
a few other things. And I find myself falling asleep and having to rewind.
I do that.
But despite my reservations, there's plenty of story left to tell.
Yeah. And
for sure.
I think it's a great story. I think it's very unique.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a dramatist strain vibe to it. Old Michael Crichton, so.
And it was interesting, the whole hive mind, whatever you want to call it, that you have these random people who've in the previous life have never flown a 747. Right. And now all of a sudden they're pilots and they're doctors and they're whatever they are. And you can kind of see that. I mean, not to stereotype anybody, but in every scene like that where someone's doing something that they probably didn't do before, they don't look like the right person. It's almost like they intentionally put somebody in
that
didn't have the vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So
tentative recommendation from Jay.
I'd definitely say watch
one thumb up.
Yeah, one thumb up. But you've only got one thumb.
What?
Yeah. All right. Arden, so you got 2.5 Geeks recommendation on it. So
okay,
yeah,
that's enough.
Right?
Yeah, that's
enough. Yeah. So, all right. That's going to do it for this episode. We'll be back in mere moments for us, but a week for you guys. See you then.